Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match reaction. Liverpool 1, Everton 0. Another defeat at Anfield for Everton. And yeah, it was not a great game. And it's just normal service resumed at Anfield. I honestly feel at this point, our record's so bad there, we could take a World 11 and play the under-11s, Liverpool's under-11s, and we'd still get beat. That's just the way it is. But listen, it's our first defeat since early January, and we have to pick ourselves back up. Got a big game on Saturday, safe in the Premier League. Ipswich have got a big win tonight, but they're gone. And it is about next season now. So Saturday gives us an opportunity to beat Arsenal at home, which is what we should be concentrating on. It's there for us now to beat them, and we have to move on from this one. The manager went with no Lindstrom in the side tonight. He picked up a knock, but Mykolenko was fit. So we had Pickford in goal, obviously, in the back four, the normal back four. Alcaraz played in midfield. I thought he did well, but he offers no width off that left-hand side. He tucked right in. Now, that might have been part of Everton's game plan, or does he just naturally tuck inside? But I noticed this against West Ham. He offered us no width off the left-hand side, and having Jack Harrison on the right doesn't really work. But we are where we are. We've got what we've got. It was good, on the bench to see Illiman and Jai back on the bench, and obviously Chimiti and Brien getting closer to fitness, being available again, and at least it gives the manager a few options from the bench. But Beto up front, Decore just behind them, and it was weird. The weird start of the game. Liverpool were sort of trying to force it early on, and got a corner from just poor defending, and obviously that puts you on the back foot a little bit. But we coped with that early. I wouldn't even call it pressure. They put a couple of balls into the box, but they popped it around quite nicely. And then there was just a ridiculous moment from Tarkowski. For me, it's a red card. I don't understand how it isn't a red card, if I'm being honest, with VAR. I can understand the referee seeing him win the ball and thinking, well, he's gone through a little bit. I think it was a Derby tackle from 10, 15 years ago. That was a yellow card. It was a Jamie Carragher type tackle. I remember him doing one on Pienaar after about 30 seconds, the exact same, if it was that long, the exact same challenge on the halfway line. And they were Derby tackles, weren't they? But you can't do that in the modern game, and especially with VAR. So I thought it was a red. Listen, it is what it is. It wasn't given, luckily, because it really would have been to play 80 odd minutes with 10 men there would have been a nightmare for us, and that wasn't given. And then Everton sort of grew into it. Beto gave Liverpool's two centre backs a night. I mean, Konate and Van Dijk had a nightmare, let's be honest. Van Dijk looking like a centre back who knows he's coming towards the end, and he's passing any striker onto his mate and then throwing his arms at him. But Everton thought they'd taken the lead, and it was a midgie's cock away from being given. Ball forward, Beto, Van Dijk, awful judgment. Beto gets in behind, finishes it brilliantly, and you're thinking, oh, here we go. And it's gone back, and they're messing around with the cartoon lines, and the crayons were out. And hopefully, I think after the weekend, the offside AI comes in, doesn't it? The automated one, and that'll tell us quickly, give you the decision quickly. On first view, when you looked at it, Beto looked just off. He was offside, it wasn't given, but he took the goal really well. But that was an indication that we could get in behind, and he roughed them up a little bit. He didn't like it, very much like at Goodison. And we had another opportunity again for Beto. We break. It's a dreadful ball from Decore. Van Dijk just gives a 50-50 up, runs the other way, and it means Decore can pick his head up, and Beto's on his own. He plays a dreadful ball, like really poor pass. Beto does brilliantly. Van Dijk has a wild swipe at it, gets nowhere near it. Beto runs in, and you're thinking, just beat the goalie. He beats Kelleher, and unfortunately, it hits the inside of the post and comes out a millimetre again. Further in, Everton leading, and two huge opportunities. Liverpool always dangerous with Salah breaking. Luis Diaz actually was there, sort of chief creator tonight. He was the one, although does like a little bit of a dive at times as well, but he was the real threat, Diaz. And Everton were quite comfortable. You know, Jordan Pickford had one save really to make in the first half. We defended really well, it has to be said. It was. I'm not saying Liverpool didn't have. They had all the ball and popping it round, but I think their fans, when they got to half time, will have been, apart from obviously being incensed that Everton went down to 10 men, will have been really disappointed with what they'd seen from Liverpool. Slow, same kind of thing all the time, which was easy to pick up. No real chances of any note. Mo Salah had a sort of a free header on the 6-yard box, the corner of the 6-yard box. He ain't beating Jordan Pickford from there with that. And that was it at half time. But the fear from us was we could have, you know, from talking millimetres, Everton could have been 2 up unbelievably at half time. And you did know that Liverpool were going to come out and be better in the second half. And they were. They were there. The second half, Liverpool stepped it up. Everton dropped the level, I think. And we found it really difficult in the second half to, when we did sort of break and spring it, the lack of quality from Decore in his passing let us down. Jack Harrison, who worked his socks off, the final ball, we got in a couple of times in the first half, terrible ball, couple of times in the second half, the exact same thing. We had twice on the run, we sprung 4v3, Harrison, real poor delivery when Alcaraz was on his own. And then we had another one with Alcaraz just overhit the pass. And against Liverpool, you have to be, when you break like that, you have to punish them because you don't get many chances. And we didn't. And the manager made a change and brought in Jai on. But no, Liverpool scored, didn't he, just before, and Jai come on, Jota. And a really bad goal for Everton to concede, really poor. We don't clear the ball. Decore loses a 50-50. The ball comes back. Luis Diaz is about 15 yards offside. So Tarkowski stops the through ball, which is picked up by Jota, who passes it to Diaz, who backheels it back to Jota. Jota finishes it well, but I'll be honest, I'm really surprised that the goal was given because Diaz was... If Diaz isn't there, Tarkowski clears that or lets it run through to Pickford, but he has to... He's sort of aware of him, so he has to make action towards the ball, and he means he plays it. And Diaz then 1 second later has an active part in the goal. So I was surprised that that stuck, given that they forensically examine every single goal. We've had quite a few where it took 4 minutes with looking for someone who might have been offside 10 minutes before the ball coming. So I was amazed it was given, really. Jota took it well. And then Liverpool just kept us at arm's length there. We offered very, very little. The manager brought in Jai on, he didn't really do anything. He then tried to change it again. He brought Brien and Ashley Young and Irabunum on, and didn't really affect it either. And then, you know, Decore come off and Schmidt come on, and Everton got into decent areas, got a couple of corners late on and wasted them, really. And that was it. And you know, it's like I said, the first defeat since early January. Can't complain too much. It's disappointing. I feel, like I said before, I feel like we could have the best team in Europe and go to Liverpool and throw it in because we just don't perform. We never perform there with no matter what side, whether they're brilliant or they're a poor side, you know, relatively for Liverpool, a poor side. We just don't win there. We won there in COVID and that was it. We don't win there. We haven't got that little bit of quality that you need as well at the minute. So we've been beaten and we've got to pick ourselves up, and that's the way. It's always going to be a tough game. They needed to win it. You know, they'll have that league sewn up in a couple of weeks, whatever it is. And we're planning for next season, and that's the way it is. Man of the match. I think I'll probably, you know what, I think I'm probably going to give it to Michalenko. I think there was others, Idrissa Gana Gay worked hard, really influenced it too much. But again, I rate Mo Salah so highly, and he didn't have a kick all night. He literally done nothing because Michalenko marked him out the game. So I feel like, I thought Tarkowski and Brandtwaite defended well, but I wouldn't be giving it to Tarkowski for the challenge. He just couldn't. So I'm probably going to give it to Michalenko, who I thought, again, Mo Salah, really quiet for such a top player who's created and scored most of Liverpool's goals. or certainly more, what is it, 50-odd%, 54% or something, goals and scored and created. For him not to really have a kick tonight, I think he was probably man of the match for Everton. Vitaly Michalenko, of course, not even fully fit either. So there you go. Disappointing. We move on. We've got Arsenal at the weekend. That's what we've got to look forward to now. Dust ourselves down and get that one. And ironically help Liverpool closer to winning the league, but we need to get back to winning ways, and Saturday gives us a great opportunity against a team who've lost a couple of players last night through injury as well. So good opportunity. Pat Goodison, let's beat them and let's get back that winning feeling back and start the next unbeaten run. There you go. Make sure you leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and thanks for watching. See you later.